So recently I've been playing some FPS games pretty frequently, and in those games your aim is obviously very important. So much so to the point where some people, me included, will use an aim trainer to improve their aim to levels they could never get to without these tools. But this made me question, how important is good aim in Dead by Daylight? To answer this, we need to look at what things in DbD really need you to actually aim on target to get the result you want. And since this game obviously isn't a shooter, you might start thinking this video is pointless. But even though we can't go for one-taps or a 1080 ladder style fakie glide, there's still a couple of things where having good aim is very important. For example, flashlights. Have you ever been picked up by a killer, and a Kate is magically in front of that killer picking up, but she starts aiming all over the place, making her miss the flashlight safe? Well, she was probably console, and can only aim with aim assist. But if she had a sensitivity that she's more comfortable with, or just had better control over her aim, you would have now been free from the tunneling Wraith. Or let's take a killer example. Flicking with Huntress or Slinger, or tracking with Trickster, would be very difficult to do on a sensitivity that is uncomfortable for you. Whether that uncomfortable sensitivity is from it being too fast or too slow, depends per person. So how do you even know for sure that you have a comfortable sensitivity for yourself? Well, one very easy way is to swipe your mouse with the intent of doing a 180, or hold your stick enough to the left or right to do a 180. If you're going over that 180 degrees too much, that means that your sensitivity is probably too high. If you're going under that 180 degrees, your sensitivity is probably too low. On Survivor, this is easily changed with the sensitivity slider in the settings. For Killer, on the other hand, the sensitivity slider is pretty much broken, with a super high sensitivity feeling almost the same as the lowest sensitivity. So if you're noticing that your sensitivity is too high on Killer, even on 0% sensitivity, you now need to lower your DPI on your mouse. And yes, this does mean the Survivor and Killer sensitivity are truly different. You could run a different DPI per Killer too if you want. I personally use 270 DPI for Hunters and Trickster, as it's the closest I can get to my sensitivity in other first-person games. And I know a couple of Blight and Oni players who will go higher for easier flicks. And if you still want to be able to aim normally, you could set a higher DPI to an easy-to-reach button on your mouse. So am I making this video just to show how bad the sensitivity slider is on Killer? Well, yes, but I also know a lot of DbD players use a way too high sensitivity, and I want to try to make a change in that. Because you should not be having your mouse DPI on anything higher than 1600. Like in general. You're crazy if you do. Also, a quick bit of info for those with higher polling rate mice. As of recording this, DbD has some problems with handling poll rates higher than 1000. So I'd recommend you to set your poll rates to 1000 when you're playing Dead by Daylight. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, you're probably fine if you probably don't have a high poll rate mouse anyway, or use a controller. But yeah, conclusion of the video is, make sure to use a sensitivity that you're comfortable with using for both aiming and general camera movement. You don't want to look like that console Kate who missed the easiest flashlight save because her sensitivity was too high. And you also don't want to be that Huntress or Slinger that misses every shot and then gets told aim labs is free in post-game chat. Anyways, leave a like if you found this helpful, subscribe if you're new, and maybe even check me out on Twitch if you'd like. I mainly play DbD there, but I also like to play some shooters sometimes. But yeah, have a nice day everyone. Bye bye.